Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is about Omron PLC CX programmer. I will show to you the different symbols, functions, instructions, and tips on creating a ladder program. CX programmer is the application used for Omron PLC. Different program applications can be used for different brand of programmable logic controllers. At the end of this presentation, I will show you a simple traffic lights as an example of a ladder program. First of all, if you have the installer of OMRON CX-PROGRAMMER, we can start by installing the application program on your PC. Or you can install it later and just follow the installation procedure. After finishing the installation, for those who have a Windows XP, you can access the CX programmer as shown in the presentation. Or you can search and make a shortcut on your desktop for the CX programmer. Or after finishing the installation, your PC will prompt you to restart your computer. Then a shortcut icon is already present on your desktop. If you double-click the CX Programmer icon, you will see the initial screen displayed. For creating a new project and device type settings, click the new icon. Now, we can fill up on the device name and select and choose the device type for the network type, or just simply click the OK button. Now, we can see the main window for the CX programmer, which is displayed here in the presentation, with the different parts, icons, toolbars, and etc., which we are going to use in making the ladder program. Displayed here are the contents, functions, and description shown on the main window. For changing a section name, we can follow the procedure here as shown in the presentation, or we can do by right clicking on the section name, section 1, right click and then choose the rename and input a new name for the section. Now, for addition of a section, right click on the new program and select Insert Section. If we are going to monitor the different contacts, interlockings, and instruction used, we can view the different sections at the same time, or the different sections that we have made. We can monitor that by clicking each one of them to view the ladder, the rungs, the outputs, and the inputs which we are going to monitor. Here is a sample of a ladder diagram program. Shown in the procedure is how to put a normally open contact on the ladder window. We can follow this procedure or another procedure like this one by clicking from the toolbars the normally open contact, new contact, capital C. And then we can put the address and then the comments on the comments such as start or sensors, and then click OK. Then the completed normally open contact is shown here. For the entry of normally closed contact, a procedure here on the left side can be used, or another procedure by clicking here from the toolbars the normally closed contact symbol, and then by click and then dragging it to the ladder window. Then we fill up the address, and then for the comment we will type in a sensor 1, and this will be the final contact for the normally closed contact that we made. Now for the entry of a coil, procedure also is shown here, or simply by click and drag from the toolbars for the output new coil, and then putting an address to it such as this one, which is the output address is 10.01, and then we will put a comment by naming it as a coil 2. Then the finished ladder diagram for that one output coil 2 is shown here. If you happen to input a coil that was already used, the program will automatically detect it and will give you notifications, will tell you the wrong location where the address of the coil was used. Like for example, this one, if the coil is used already, a notification is shown here that a duplicated output has been made. So this will prompt us to change the address of the new output coil. For the entry of attached comments, it can be made if there is a significant event, say edit or modification by somebody during maintenance activities, by simply putting in the date and the name of the maintenance personnel that conducted the maintenance activities, so as to have a history of the ladder program that was being edited. For the entry of a timer instruction, we have here a procedure to follow. Although it is quite long, another procedure is also shown here by again click and drag method. From the toolbars, we can click the instructions and then click on the ladder window here. Then this will prompt us for the new instruction. By clicking the find instruction, we can choose from the groups the timer and counter. Then choose the TIM, the mnemonics for timer, and then click OK. After that, we can put in the timer number, which is 001, and then the set value of sharp 0100, and then enter. Then the finished timer instruction is shown here. For the entry of a counter instruction, we can follow the procedure here. Or again, by click and drag, we can again drag from the instructions, click the instructions from the toolbars, and then clicking inside the ladder window. Then this will prompt us to find the instruction, and then again we will choose the timer and counter from the groups, and then choose the CNT, the mnemonic, or the counter, and then click OK. After that, we can put the counter number, which is 0, and then the set value for the counter. Like for example, here we put the set value 5, so we will input an sharp and 5. Then the output instruction will be the counter here, while the input is a contact normally open contact here. But the counter here lacks the resetting function. So we will now install a normally open contact again to reset the counter after the set value 5 has been achieved or attained. So by putting the cursor here and then placing an address of 1.10 as an input for the normally open contact, then label it as reset for the command. Then the complete counter instruction is shown here with the start here and a reset contact also. But we need output contact for the total process for which we are going to use this application. So again, we will insert here in run number 1, we will put here the cursor, and then the counter number, counter 000, will be used as the normally open contact address, and put the comment counter 0. Then after that, after we put the normally open contact C000, we will put now the output coil here for the application of the counter. Here we will put an address of 4.02 as the output 1, and the final outcome of the ladder diagram that we made is shown here with the counter 00 here and the contact here for the output 4.02. Then we will connect this one to the Omron simulator to see if the ladder program that we made are true and functioning properly. Now for the entry of a run comment, just follow the procedure here, or right click on the run and then choose properties. Then we can put the label here process at the startup, and it will automatically be shown here as the run comment. If we are going to put each run a comment, we can also copy and paste the run, then make the editing or modification. We can also use the undo or redo button from the toolbars when we make a mistake, just like in working in Windows, for these are very useful in modification and editing. And if we are going to go back from the previous, or we are going to move forward from the procedure that we have made. Now, we have three ways in connecting the CX programmer or going online. First is we have the normal online, which enables us to go online with a PLC device and method specified when opening a project. Second is we have the Auto Online. The Auto Online automatically recognizes the connected PLC and enables us to go online with the PLC with one button. And the third is we can go online with simulator. It will enable us to go online with CX Simulator with one button if we have already installed a CX Simulator. In going online, you will notice that the ladder window here is color gray. If the ladder program will be connected online successfully, this background color gray was transferred from color white. So from white it would turn out to gray. Now for monitoring the PLC inputs and outputs, we can use the monitoring icons here. We have here the monitor mode, the program mode, and the run mode. We can monitor here if the rungs are energized or the contacts are closed or the outputs are energized. Now we have the force on and off. When forcing on and off on an input instruction, say the normally open or the normally closed contact, we simply follow this procedure or another procedure here, which is easier by right clicking on the contact and then choose the force and select the on to force the normally open to be closed and vice versa. Here we already force the normally open, we already force it on, and so the contact here is shown is the contact is closed. That's why there is a color green line that symbolizes that the contact has been closed and energized the counter instruction. But then the set value was 5 and it was the first time that we forced the contact here. So from 5 it will be decreased to 4. And then we will repeat again the procedure until the number 4 here from the set value 5 turns to 0. Then this counter will be energized and the counter 00 here will be completely energized and will close the contact here and thus energize the output 4.02. Changing the set value of a timer, we can change the setting or the set value here. For example, from sharp 30, we change it to sharp 100 here at the set value and then click OK. Or another one is changing the present value of a timer through the timer number. So from here, we can change and modify the set value, and then after modifying it, click the set and the new value will be inputted on the timer number. Now for online edit of the PLC ladder diagram, as shown here in the example, for online edit, we can change online the address of the ladder diagram. Like for example here from 4.10, we change the address to 4.11 and then click OK. And the new edited output address is shown here. Now we are going to have an example, as I have said earlier, that our example will be a traffic lights, and we are going to use this address and then these names or description on our ladder diagram. Likewise, these comments will also appear on the ladder diagram program. Here is the ladder diagram of a simple traffic lights. After editing, modification, troubleshooting of the traffic light ladder diagram, I will show to you the ladder diagram connected to an online simulator to check and to see if the ladder diagrams that I made are working properly. So here, I'm now going to connect it to the online simulator, and you will notice that from white it turns out to gray, and then we will click the 2.07 start stop by forcing it to on or to close the normally open contact to energize the timer here, and the timer 00 will be energized and the contact here, and then again proceeds to another timer and so on. And you will notice here that the color here is green and it will change to yellow after the desired timer is obtained. So from yellow, again it will go to red as a stop for the vehicles in the traffic, and then shown here is the yellow after the green light. Here are the timers that I use in making the changing of the colors of the traffic lights. So this is a series of timers in which I already use the timer numbers to energize the coil for the color of the traffic lights. So you can see here that the timer is functioning, and here T007 is closed, and then T008 is counting down. And then to reset the timer, and so on. So you will notice here the changing of colors from yellow to red to green to yellow and so on. Now we can modify the length of time by resetting or changing the value of the timer's time set value as shown before. And then now we are going to force to stop the timer's function. So you can see that after forcing it to off, we will then cancel all forces to put back to normal the ladder diagram. Then we will switch off the simulator.